The screen spins around to face you. 20%, 25, 30. A person is standing right there, watching, and you haven't even been handed your coffee yet. You tap 20%, not because the service was good, it hasn't happened yet, but because saying no feels impossible. That feeling isn't an accident. That screen was built to produce it, and it's quietly turning a reward for good service into a tax you pay out of guilt on things nobody used to tip for at all. The self-checkout, the vending machine, the counter where you poured your own cup. Here's how the tip screen actually works, and who gets your money. Start with what changed. A tip used to come at the end. You got the service, you judged it, you left a little extra. The reward came after the work, and it was yours to decide. The screen flips that. Now the ask comes first, before the coffee's poured, before the bag's handed over. There's no service to judge yet, so the screen swaps what a tip was based on, how they did, for the one thing it can control, how you feel, right now, with someone watching. And every part of it is tuned for that feeling. The default buttons don't start at 10 or 15 anymore. They start at 18, 20, sometimes 25 or 30. Those aren't neutral suggestions. They're anchors, the number your eye lands on first. So anything lower feels stingy. And the no tip option? Often the hardest thing on the screen to find. Small gray text, or one extra tap behind a message, asking if you're sure. Then there's the witness. The person who flipped the screen around is standing right there, and you both know they'll see what you pick. That's not a side effect. Research consistently finds people tip more when they're watched. The screen just makes sure you always are. And it's working, but it's starting to crack. If you've started hitting no tip more this year, you're not alone. More than a third of people say they've cut back. 59% still feel pressured when a screen asks, though, down from 66 a year ago, and most now say it straight out. Tipping culture has gotten out of control, and businesses should just pay their people properly. Because that's the part underneath all of it. The tip screen isn't really about rewarding a worker, it's about who pays the worker. In much of the country, a tipped employee can legally be paid a base wage far below the normal minimum, as low as a couple of dollars an hour, as long as tips make up the difference. So when the business hands you that screen, it isn't asking you to add a bonus. It's asking you to cover a paycheck it chose not to fully pay. The wage bill quietly slides off the company's books and onto your receipt. And notice who's not on that screen. The owner sets the prices and lets your tips stand in for wages. The payment company often takes its processing cut on the bigger, tip included total. Everyone in the chain does fine. The two people left to settle it up are you and the worker, the business underpaid, which is exactly why the screen didn't stay at restaurants. Once it works, it spreads. It's why it now spins around where you grabbed your own cup, at self-checkout where you did the scanning, at the airport kiosk, on the online order no human ever touched. That's tip creep, the screen appearing on transactions where nobody served you at all. Betting the guilt reflex still fires. To be fair, tipping a person who actually served you, and served you well, is a good thing. Service workers are underpaid, and a real tip genuinely helps. This isn't about stiffing your server. It's about seeing the difference between that and the screen on a vending machine running the same play on your conscience. So the next time it spins around, you'll see it for what it is. Not a question about the service, a question about the guilt. 20, 25, 30, preset, pre-service, with a witness, asking you to quietly cover a wage somebody else decided not to pay. It's the same move as every machine we've looked at. It works best on the good, careful people, the ones who don't want to seem cheap, who feel the weight of someone watching. That little screen, spun around before you've even been served. That's who gets your money. Be honest. What's the most ridiculous place a screen has ever asked you to tip? Drop it below. And if you work for tips, tell us straight. Does that screen actually help you, or just help the boss? Next time, the price you see isn't the price your neighbor sees. Same seat, same screen, same second. And your own phone quietly decided you'd pay more.